interview portion here started. First thing I'd like to ask you guys, since this is a new matchup for you, please talk a little bit about how you approach CVZ on the ladder, and then talk about what your kind of your overall plan was going into the series. And we'll start with Montasaurus. So wait, no, we started with him before. Anuzarg,
Yes.
you can start.
So the question is, how do I usually approach CVZ? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
So usually I really don't actually like just figure out okay, versus this race I just do this strategy, versus the other race I do another strategy. I just basically, when the loading screen appears, I just think, okay, what am I gonna do for this? It just doesn't. I just like feel like doing something and then I just do it. So most of the time it's Roach Hydra, which is
Okay.
like my favorite.
Makes sense. So did you decide to do that? Were you deciding to do that today as well? Same reason?
Yep.
Okay. Montasaurus, your turn.
Yeah. I approached CVZ actually trying to avoid roaches just because, I don't know. I don't really like playing Roach Hydra that much, as effective as it is in most cases. I usually tend to go for my hatch first at 15, which is what I did the first game. And then get my Evo chamber and kind of rush to speedlings and see what kind of damage and pressure I can do with that and try and contain the Zerg to 2 bases while I expand. But once roaches get added to the mix on his side, I kind of have to build roaches to counter it. So when that happens, I usually go Roach Hydra and try and get an advantage with upgrades, which is what I did the first game.
Montasaurus.
Cool.
Do you know that roaches are actually, speedlings actually counter roaches if they manage to surround them? Speedlings actually, in huge numbers, they can't do that.
Yeah, in a large number, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they say they counter, but it doesn't really. I don't know. In my experience, whenever I've played like a human player where they're controlling the roaches, roaches always seem to have the advantage because they're ranged. Just simply for that. I mean, if you get Zerglings with upgrades, then it kind of you start to see a difference. But
the only person that doesn't control roaches well is me, so don't worry about it.
Okay, so after that game, did you decide to do the same thing in the second game? And if you didn't, why'd you change it? Anuzarg.
Oh, okay. So the second game what I tried rushing to roaches. Was that it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was inspired by Montasaurus. He said he was going to 6-pool me. I just thought, okay, why don't I just cheese him? Just in case he's cheesing me, I'll cheese him back, and then maybe we'll base trade and maybe I'll win. So I'm always that kind of guy. Whenever some sort of cheese happens, I will always just try to do some sort of anti-cheese. But it didn't work so well, did it?
Well, all things considered, that was a pretty interesting game to watch. I don't know what the exact build is for a Roach Rush, but I'd actually recommend you give it a try and take a look at it, just because it's Anuzarg, just because you did all right. I mean, just thinking of the idea and going for it. So, not a bad idea to give it some practice, I don't think. I mean, it's the first time you use any cheese, it's really difficult to make it work. So, I mean, I wouldn't be, too upset about it. They take practice as much as anything else does.
Yeah, it does.
Same for responding to it. That was pretty nicely done. You didn't overreact and you didn't send the Lings down to the roaches immediately. They didn't get killed piecemeal. Held them back. Got a couple spine crawlers up. Got queens at a really nice spot. It was really well thought out, I thought, from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, thanks.
So, okay, with that done, the last little bit here is shoutouts. So, anything you want to plug in terms of your own stuff or anybody else's, now's the time to do it. And Anuzarg, you go first.
What was that? I wasn't actually paying attention. Sorry.
Shoutouts.
So shoutouts. I have this stream of mine that happens at 7 p.m. Every Saturday, but for today, it's moved to tomorrow. So it's at twitch.tv/Anuzarg. So yeah.
All right. Montasaurus?
Yeah, I don't have really anything to plug. Um, I do play in a band. That's about as active as I am on the internet, I guess.
Okay.
And I guess if you like our music, you can find it at thepursuits.bandcamp.com. Then other than that, special shout out to Seiji for getting me into StarCraft in the first place and for watching this game.
All right.
And everybody in chat, because you guys are awesome. And I don't have the thing open, so I can't really look and see who's there. But
crowd tonight, it consists primarily of Cryotalks, Dead Frogs.
Frogs.
Saw Otter in here earlier as well. But yeah, that's pretty much just a small crew for tonight, which is cool. Anyway, as far as we're concerned, go ahead and have Zero go first.
Alright, I stream at twitch.tv/ZeroLambda. It should be more active in the next few weeks as things calm down a little bit on my schedule side. So, planning on playing Diablo 3 with Mr. Omega over there eventually. So, you can always check that out. You hit the follow button, that would be great.
All right, and for me, you can find me on YouTube as well by the same name, Omega068. I play a lot of random other games over there. And you can find the Showmatch VODs at tinyurl.com/daynightS. And finally, my Twitter at OmegaKorath. I will actually be streaming probably Bastion and Velda's story over the next couple of weeks. Aiming for 4 p.m. PDT. So if you guys are interested in either of those two games, stop by, check it out. And other than that, see y'all later. Last quick reminder for anybody who's still here, don't worry, I will send out another email as well. There will not be any show matches next weekend. We take the last weekend of the month off. This little operation. So I will catch you guys in the first weekend of May. See ya.
All right. Have a good week.